Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to this video on my channel 158.3. We are going to do an analysis on the English Premier League. The biggest matchup of the weekend is first place Everton versus third place Liverpool team, and this is a big matchup. Both teams are gunning for the Premier League title, believe it or not, and it's a city derby. Things are more important than ever. It's crucial to get a win, especially in this early juncture, because there's no playoffs in the English Premier League. It's very important to win every single game you can. And a lot of times, especially in the last couple of years, having even just one loss or two losses can take you out of the title race, or make it that much harder to win the title. So I want to get into this analysis. It ended in a draw. Everton and Liverpool ended in a draw this week. And it was very controversial. It ended because it ended in a draw because of a controversial VAR challenge, and one of the best defenders in the world got injured. So let's get into analysis. The scoring starts early in the third minute So here we go. So here's the first play I wanted to analyze. Andrew Robertson dribbles past Seamus Coleman, finds an open Sadio Mane for this goal. So let's take a look here. As you see, Firmino finds Robertson out wide. Ball comes off of Coleman. And Mane, he's the space god, I call him. He's just so good. He's a Rom Deuter. He just finds space. Again, Sadio Mane, he's so good at operating in the space. One of the best players in the world doing that. I remember seeing him doing that at Southampton. And that's why Southampton was successful in 2014, 2015, was Sadio Mane scored so many goals where he was able to find space, cut inside, and, coolly finish. It's just a matter of fact. Now, the next play I wanted to focus on to my left here is the big controversial play. Is it a foul? Is it egregious? Either way, Virgil Van Dijk was seriously injured as a result of this play. Now, here are the new rules for those who don't follow as closely. This play was ruled offside, and you'll see. This play was ruled offside. Now, the new rules, offsides play on. It's not an instant whistle. They let the course of the play run, and then they call offside after the play is complete. So, if there is a tackle like that, it's not considered. It's actually, and under the new rules as well, it's not considered a foul. Surprisingly, I'm not sure if that was just a missed call, or if it just wasn't ruled egregious or what. But I think the new offside rule, if it wasn't in place, this wouldn't have happened. Now, I don't think Pickford was being intentional. He was not intentionally trying to take out Virgil van Dijk. Good strategic move, if you want to be cold-hearted about it. But it doesn't. I think he was trying to go after the ball. He's an aggressive goalkeeper anyway. He plays kind of a sweeper-keeper type role sometimes. We saw that a lot under Marco Silva, and sometimes we see echoes of that nowadays for England and for Everton. He's like that, so he's going to go after the ball a little aggressively, come off his line, and take out the ball. But as you see on this play, sometimes that could go too far. As you see, takes out Virgil van Dijk's knee, and what it looks like, what I was seeing after the game was that there was some reports he's rumored to miss 8 to 12 months. Some reports say 6 to 9, 5 to 10. He's seeing a specialist tomorrow, so we'll get a full prognosis on it. His ACL's messed up. We'll see how bad the tear is and see how long it's going to take for him to recover. This is something that's going to hurt Liverpool's chances to repeat, and I'm sad for it to happen to him, and I wish him a speedy recovery for the sake of his family and for himself. Now, this next play I wanted to focus on was a very clutch Michael Keane goal, and you'll see it's mostly Adrian again, just not being Premier League standard. This is just an elementary save by most goalkeepers that should be in Liverpool's position. Alisson Becker would have saved it, and God knows they need Alisson Becker right now. You'll see it here. Beautiful cross here by James. Beautiful header. But as you'll see, it just goes through Adrian's hands, and he missed this by a mile. I mean, if he was in better position, and if he had better hand positioning and read and reacted a lot better, that's not a goal. It was in his face, and he literally misplayed it. I mean, look at that. That's just... that just goes to show how not to standard Adrian is. That's just an easy goal. He just dropped it. That's just an easy goal he let in, and you took yourself out of the lead, and it's now 1-1, and it completely changes the complexion of this game. Next, we have a beautiful save and an even better set. Cut that out. What we have is an amazing set piece here. Nice attempt, but an even better save by Pickford. I mean, what I've noticed, the common thread here, Alexander-Arnold had a great free kick here, and an even better save by Pickford, and you'll see it. Just great positioning, great approach to the ball, and saved it away. That's how a Premier League goalkeeper looks. That's what a Premier League goalkeeper looks like, Adrian, if you're watching. But what I've noticed, I mean, Pickford's been the weak link for Everton as of late. What I've noticed over the past couple of years is I don't believe that Everton's goalkeeping coaching is nearly as good as England's, because they just came off of international duty, and Pickford's lights out for England. He's the true number one, but for Everton, he's inconsistent. But when he comes off of international break, he's like a completely different goalkeeper. He doesn't miss a lot of balls coming his way. He doesn't drop a lot. He makes great saves, and he's very fundamentally sound. And Pickford had a really good game. It was the first good game he had this year, and I was really impressed. And I think that has to do with coming off of England international break. This next play I wanted to focus on is just a really nice play. It doesn't really result in anything, but a really nice pass here by Firmino. Really good play, and that just shows you. I mean, it's a very poor miss by Mane, but it just goes to show you he's the quintessential Rom Deuter right now. He's just great at getting into space, coming in from the wing, and getting those great opportunities. He's just so very good. And this is the Salah goal. I just want to highlight this because this is unreal. I mean, Yerry Mina, he could have played that a little better. I think he could have got back to position quicker. He could have played that a little better, maybe just let that fall. But he was tracking back. He wasn't backtracking, but he was running back towards the goal. Probably not the best defended, but, I mean, there's nothing Pickford or Mina could do after that. Salah's just that dude. He's just one of the best players in the world. And he could just make magic out of nothing. That's the type of player he is. He just, like a half volley from just inside the penalty area. I mean, or just inside the box. Like, come on. Not a lot you could do to stop that. That was just an amazing goal. And it was a pretty good cross there, but Salah is just unreal. He's one of the best players in the world, one of the best to do it, and may respect to this goal. Not a lot anyone could do. Nothing really Pickford could do. Not the best clearance by Yerry Mina, but, you know, Salah, again, just amazing. Now, here's a really impressive goal by a guy who's just been tearing it up in the Premier League this year, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, this is my ode to him. 7 goals in 5 Premier League games. He's just unreal. I've watched him grow up in an Everton uniform. If you look at his, if you look at his Wikipedia page, I'll let you look that up. I'm not gonna pull that up, but it shows him in his first year with Everton. He's skinny, very lanky. Wasn't much more older than 20 years old, and he just didn't fill out his uniform. It looked baggy on him. No muscle mass, no nothing. He had some definition, but he was not really strong. But he really hit the weights over the past couple of years. Really worked on his technique. He always had the grit, always had the tenacity. But his first couple seasons, he was always getting pushed away from headers. He could not win the strength battle against Vincent Kompany or guys like that, some of the best center backs the Premier League has to offer, and those guys are farm boy strong. You gotta work on your strength and conditioning to play with the big boys. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, to his credit, has just been just a gym nerd, man. He's just getting yoked, getting swole up in there, and absolutely, it's shown in great results. I mean, a lot of these goals are like this. Just headers. Just jumping in the air, getting up there. Getting that Tony Hawk hang. I call it the Tony Hawk hang time, baby. He's at the hanger level, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, man. Look at this. Fast forward it. A little grainy right now. But you'll see it. Yeah, he's getting that. That's just fantastic. I love seeing that sometimes, just amazing. Just shows you whatever you do in life, you gotta work hard. You gotta get yourself in shape, get your mind right, get your diet right, get everything together, and you'll profit. You will receive. I mean, look at him now. He's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. He scored for England last weekend. He's the real deal, buddy. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm real proud of this young man. And then here's another example of Pickford putting in that work. He had a really good game. And this was kind of an awkward exchange, actually. I really thought, there's this young player named Ben Godfrey, just came over from Norwich. 25 million, shows a lot of promise, a lot of potential. He blocked a shot earlier in the game and set up a really nice counterattack that ultimately resulted in nothing. But it does show his positive highlights. Like, he does block shots. He puts in that work on the defensive end. But here's something I want to see him improve. But that's what I wanted to spotlight there was Ben Godfrey should recognize that Jordan Pickford was back in the position of minding the net. What Godfrey should have done was recognize that and get out of his way. He should have closed down maybe on one of the attackers, and that would have been more helpful to the team. Instead, he was kind of a liability. Luckily, it didn't result into anything negative for Everton, but I would have loved to see him read the game a little quicker and get into a better position to help his team. Now, another thing I wanted to address let me look at my notes here. In the 88th minute, it's very physical sequence here. Yerry Mina fouls one of the Liverpool players. I believe it was Mane. And the whistle was blown. But Richarlison was coming in at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Goes after Thiago and gets a red card. Now, I love Richarlison. He's such an antagonistic player. I love that about him as an Everton fan. But sometimes it goes too far. This was one of those cases. You get a red card, and now he's minimum loss suspended for 3 games, and now you have to rely on Bernard, who's a good player, but you miss that element of Richarlison that has really benefited Everton. He hasn't scored a lot of goals this year, hasn't had a lot of assists neither, but he's been involved in the games and been a very critical part. So here's what happened here. You'll see it. there's the foul there, Yerry Mina on Sadio Mane, and boom, goes right after Thiago right there. And here's the problem with that. You are, I mean, you could have ended the player's career. That is a really dangerous thing to do, and I do not advocate for that. I know it's Everton-Liverpool. I know Everton fans hate Liverpool, but you don't want to see that. It's already enough that they lost Virgil Van Dijk. Imagine if they lost Thiago. The city would burn. You know what I mean? And Thiago didn't play antagonistic in any way, so why did he go after him after the whistle? That just doesn't make sense to me. It was a stupid bonehead play. And Richarlison's kind of known for that. Sometimes he does make a lot of stupid tackles that cost the team. And just another example of it, you know, you're in a title race. You don't want to lose players for 3 games. You know, don't be stupid, please. And here's the most controversial play, probably of the Premier League season, because it has title implications attached to it. So we have a late goal here. All right, or what appears to be a goal. A beautiful pass by Thiago to Sadio Mane, and it just leads to a crucial Liverpool goal, right? Mane's just so good at getting into space, and he's good at crossing. He is very understated about his game. So, and what happens is Pickford lets the ball go behind him, goes right through his hands, kind of like Adrian in the 21st minute against Michael Keane, and it goes behind him and it goes over his head into the net. And, you know, that could have costed Everton their title chances, and Liverpool would have been top of the league. Sadio Mane makes a good run. You know, beautiful run, beautiful pass. He just kills Everton, okay? He's just so good at destroying Everton. He's just made his money destroying Everton. He's so good against them. But here's the problem. VAR gets involved for a possible offside, which I didn't think was possible. I thought Mane was onside. You know what I mean? And here's what happened. They had to break out some algebra for this shit. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know this was possible, that they had to get a scatter plot and get an X line and a Y line and find out where Mane was. It just blew my mind. I didn't think it was possible that they did this. You know, I didn't think it was possible in the moment. I thought Everton lost the game. All right, Liverpool's top of the league. On to next week. Let's see what happens. It's going to be an interesting title race. But yeah, this is what they do. They ruled that Mane was offside by his back shoulder blade. I was just letting that sink in. The video didn't pause. Let me repeat that. The back of his shoulder blade and the back of his elbow were slightly offside by a millimeter, and an algebraic function. That's how they determined offside, and that's how they overruled the goal. Are you kidding me? I am a fan of Everton for pretty much in my 3rd decade now. And even I thought it was bullshit. Excuse my language. Yeah. No other words. No other words can describe this. So the game ends up being 2-2. There was like another chance at the end of the game that led to nothing. It was a beautiful cross. Everton's so deadly at set pieces this season, but it resulted in nothing, ended in 2-2. And what that did was, instead of Liverpool winning 3-2, going to the top of the league by a point, now they're behind by 2 points, and Everton's still top of the league, still undefeated. And it's just unreal. VAR is a good thing for like obvious plays that the ref might miss, and they do miss because of that. because of the line of sight and stuff like that. They can miss some plays. They can miss some fouls. That's what VAR's there for. Not to plot an algebraic function on a replay video to determine if someone is offside by a millimeter. But I'm sure Everton fans will take it. I mean, that's just something I want. And this could have been a big game for Liverpool. The league is wide open. Aston Villa is in second place right now behind Everton. They won today. And Tottenham drew West Ham. West Ham rallied late and tied Tottenham. Oh my goodness. This is a crazy Premier League season. Manchester United's in 14th. Manchester City was thought to probably be contendership for winning the Premier League, and they're not. They sputtered out of the gate. Arsenal was strong out of the gate, and now they've stalled as well. Leicester was strong out of the gate, and now they've sputtered as well. So it's down to Everton, Aston Villa, Tottenham, and Liverpool for the Premier League. Who would have thought? Now, I want to get into the story of Everton a little bit. I might make a separate video on it, but they have this manager, Carlo Ancelotti, one of the best managers of his day. Won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Or, no, he didn't. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I messed up. No, he did win some Champions leagues back in the day. He managed Real Madrid. He managed Chelsea. He did a lot of... He's a very decorated manager. And somehow he landed at mid-table Everton, who are rebuilding. And another thing... And he's got them clicking on all cylinders. He's got a system in place, and the players do it, and the players play their asses off for this man. Another thing is they've slowly built themselves up. They signed Luka Dean. Luka Dean used to play for Barcelona. They won the league. They win Copa del Rey's and all. They're a very decorated team. Yerry Mina was on Barcelona for a little bit, but still good enough to make Barcelona. And you have James Rodriguez, another guy they signed this past offseason. And Real Madrid gave him up on a free. And he's played really good in the Bundesliga the past couple seasons with Borussia Dortmund and with Bayern Munich. Yet, Real Madrid saw no value and let him go on a free. And now he's playing some of the best football in his career. It's unreal what has happened at Everton, the transformation. And they drew Liverpool today. They could have won. They had two chances I didn't really get into. There was one with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Adrian actually made a good save today. There was and Richarlison had a header that hit the post and went wide. So it could have been a completely different game if those chances went the other way. But we're talking about an Everton team that is currently undefeated going into the middle of October. It's unreal. It's going to be... I can't wait to see what this is going to be like going down the home stretch. But again, what a fun game. My thoughts go out to Virgil Van Dijk as well. So that's my thoughts on the game. It was Everton 2, Liverpool 2. What a hell of a game. What a hell of a game. And so that's all my thoughts on that game. Liverpool had a lot more chances than Everton, and Pickford weathered the storm. He looked really good. So we'll see what this Premier League race is going to be going down 2021. Now, that's the end of my video. Like, subscribe, comment. Any feedback's good feedback. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.